If you're even thinking about buying a brand new home in San Antonio this year, I'm going to show you the biggest mistakes to avoid before even walking into a sales office. Number one is not researching the builder or the community. And I'm not just talking about reading the Google reviews. Although it is smart to do that too, you can't always get a good feel for a particular builder or community this way, since there do tend to be several negative reviews for every builder. You've heard how the expression goes that unhappy customers are 10 times more likely to leave a review than happy customers. So if you use this as your main source of making a decision, you would likely never be able to choose one. But instead, one great way to research a specific builder or community that is often overlooked is to speak with people that are already living in the homes in that community that were built by that builder. They can usually give you tons of insight and an honest opinion on what to expect after closing and how easy or how difficult it is to have warranty concerns addressed. Number two is not looking at other completed homes to measure the quality of the finished product. It's easy to see the model home and fall in love. The model should be pretty close to flawless. You want to make sure to look at other homes that are near completion so that you can get a good idea of what their homes look like and the quality of their finished product. The next mistake to avoid is expecting all homes to look like the model. Yes, it's true that builders go all out on their models and include all of the upgrades and features that you can add. But they also make changes of basic finish outs that you would assume to be standard that are actually not. I once had a client that completely changed his mind about a builder, even though it was the best option for him and checked all of his boxes, because the model home had completely different standards from the inventory homes that were the exact same floor plan. For example, the model had higher ceilings, added lighting, tile flooring instead of carpet, and a few other upgrades that were not even available as add-on options on their home. This is really common for production builders that already have their homes and selections planned out and do not allow for any changes to any. So if you're looking for more info about buying a brand new home in San Antonio, make sure to check out the description and get my new construction guide. The number four mistake is not asking how long the community will be under construction. Some communities can be under construction for years, especially if they have multiple phases of development scheduled. Whether on that specific street or adjacent streets or blocks, you will need to consider that you will hear construction noises that are going on nearby. You will potentially have dust from construction coming into your home, hazards like nails and screws in your tires, and even having to look at messy and cluttered construction sites. Now, before we move on to the next mistake, if this information is helpful to you, make sure to like this video so I can continue making more videos about buying homes in the San Antonio area. Number five is not hiring a third-party inspector. Depending on what stage of construction you contract on the home, you may be able to have phase inspections performed. These inspections are performed during specific phases of the construction process. They help provide a punch list to the builder for corrections before they cause problems or before it is too late to catch them. The phase one inspection is before the slab pour to ensure that the plumbing components are installed and connected properly. Phase two is after framing and electrical and plumbing have already been completed, but before the walls go up. And phase three is when the home is completed, usually 1 to 2 weeks before closing. At the very least, I highly recommend to all of my buyers that they have this inspection done. No home, not even a brand new one, is ever perfect, and you want to have the builder's work checked by as many other professionals as possible. Phase four is usually 10 to 11 months after having lived in the home, but before your 1-year warranty expires. Another mistake is not asking about warranty coverage. Every builder has different warranty coverages and what qualifies for their warranty coverage. So you do want to find out from them what their specific process is when it comes to issues with their home. Not researching future developments is another big mistake. Although this is a potential concern with any community that you buy a home, not just brand new construction, you will want to do research on what is being developed in the area. Commercial development usually coincides with residential, so you'll want to find out what the coming up businesses are in that community. The next mistake to avoid when buying a new construction home in San Antonio is huge, and one that most buyers don't think about, and that is considering resale value. If you're buying a brand new home in an area that is still building new homes, you really need to consider how long you plan on staying in that area. If it's only going to be for a short time, like 2 to 3 years, there's a good possibility that you will have a challenge selling that home when it's time. The reason for that is new build homes are going to be your biggest competition, and the fact that the builders are going to be able to appeal to a larger market of buyers and offer better incentives. You may or may not have built up enough equity to break even when you consider the costs that go into selling a home. Not reading the purchase agreement and understanding escalation clauses. A builder's purchase agreement is totally one-sided. it will always be in the best interest and protection of the builder. So you'll want to make sure that you look over every detail in the contract and understand what you are signing. It's also important to know that most builders have an escalation clause written into their contract, which allows them to increase the price of the home, even though you're under contract, if their construction costs increase as well. And that brings me to the next mistake that you definitely don't want to make. And that is going into a builder sales office without having representation. Hear me out, because this is important. A realtor that is experienced in new construction can help you understand the purchase agreement and what you're signing and help you to avoid all of these mistakes and more. Keep in mind that the sales rep that works in the sales office represents the builder and not you. And it should be a red flag to you if you ever have someone that tries to convince you not to use your own representation. Now that you've seen all the mistakes not to make if you're buying a brand new home in San Antonio, you'll want to watch this video next for even more tips on how to buy a new construction home in the San Antonio area. And make sure to check out the description in any of my videos for my contact info and even more resources that I have just for you. See you in the next video.